Hey, School Zone listeners, Matt coming at you here from sunny Central Texas. Hope you are all having a great day. It is just about Memorial Day weekend, but no rest for many of us, myself and my guest today included Mark Geddis of Fan Fundraising. Mark, thanks for being on the School Zone and taking time out of your busy schedule to share with our audience.
I guess thank you for having me. Looking forward to catching up here.
So give everybody a little bit of background on you, where you came from, what puts you in a unique position to serve the school market with your product, and then we'll jump on in more specifically to what you do with Superfan, that type of thing.
Well, before I got into the product fundraising space, my professional career has all been in the sports industry. I've worked at a variety of different stops along the way, from Syracuse University Athletics, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFL, the United States Olympic Committee out in Colorado Springs. And I came down to South Florida in 1992 to start the Florida Marlins Baseball Club. I was fortunate with our owner, who then ended up buying the Miami Dolphins and brought the Florida Panthers into the National Hockey League to get involved with all those franchises. Had a lot of fun. He sold the Marlins in 1999. The year 2000, I joined him and ended up starting a business in the college marketplace called Collegiate Images, which we later sold in 2008. I transitioned through them. And a good friend of mine who was in the fundraising space approached me, knew I had a lot of relationships in the sports industry, and thought bringing sports licensed items to the fundraising space made a lot of sense. So early 2000s, I was introduced to the fundraising space, and it was something that when I got into, candidly didn't know a lot, other than the fact that I was one of the many when I was in my elementary days that sold wrapping paper and some cookie dough and products. So I was familiar with it from that perspective, but it's been a learning curve, and it's been a fun ride so far, and we're looking forward to being a part of this industry for years to come.
Little side note, I was at the very first Colorado Rockies Marlins game in Denver. I don't remember what year that was.
It was in 1993, and I was probably there with you, 83,000 fans at Mile High Stadium.
Yep, I was there. I went to the Air Force Academy for college, and I was back in the area, I think, visiting some family at the time. And it just so happened that that they were playing their first game, and we were at the right place at the right time. So
that's great.
Small world. That's cool, man. So talk a little bit then about, okay, you have all this background in sports and in athletics and professional and collegiate sports. How did you go from that to deciding, okay, this is something that really makes sense for the school market and for the fundraising world? Talk us kind of through that process, and then jump into Superfan more specifically and what you guys do.
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, we initially, found the right items that we wanted to come to market after we approached the professional sports leagues and colleges to carry their licensed materials. And our initial audience was little leagues and youth football, Pop Warner organizations, etc. And we had a lot of success early out of the gate. And it wasn't shortly thereafter that some folks said, "Hey, is there any reason we wouldn't take this into the school marketplace?" That's probably about 3 years ago. It was perfect timing, because we had just recently added one of our signature products, the Tervis tumblers, into our catalog. And if anybody's familiar with the Tervis tumblers, I actually have one right here. They're the double insulated cups, hot drinks, hot, cold drinks, cold, lifetime guarantee. We started with the sports tumblers, and we decided shortly after that to add the non-sports, which if you go to any Bed Bath & Beyond or stores around the country, you can find the Tervis product. Well, we added their top they're called their essentials line, and they're their top selling non-sports products. We added them to our catalog, and even to our surprise and Tervis's surprise, we sold a lot. And it was really at that time we said, okay, it's great that we have all these sports license items. There's definitely a niche, a need for it. There's a lot of sports enthusiasts out there, but they also want to buy non-sports items as well when they're out there, trying to raise money for their different organizations. And so anyways, with that success, we started approaching the schools, and real quickly the two things went somewhat hand in hand. The first schools that we went to, we found instant success. And then it came upon ourselves, hey, why limit ourselves just to youth sports organizations? Let's get into the school marketplace as well. So there's probably a few people that are watching this podcast or are either familiar or becoming familiar with us. We've got either dedicated reps or independent reps that are a part of our team, and we're hitting a lot of the shows around the country, or sending them emails or giving them a call to introduce Superfan Fundraising to them.
So talk a little bit then, like as an example, the tumbler you just held up there, I think is an I Love Teaching tumbler. So you've got the licensed stuff. You've got, I assume you just have tumblers of variety of colors that have nothing on them is my guess.
We pretty much anything that we feature probably about, it started with our top 10 Tervis non-sports items, but now we've got all kinds of different things. Matter of fact, the new catalog that is actually going to be hitting the marketplace here very quickly. We feature all kinds of different things from dogs to beach to family, mom, dad, etc. All kinds of different styles that are in there. We offer their 16 ounce, 24 ounce, and their water bottles, which are actually real popular with the kids.
Outstanding. Now, do you guys do any customization at all, or are you purely your line is your line, just like you showed us with the catalog? Is it a combination of those things?
Well, it's a great question. Our core business, of course, is the 16-page catalog that we will sign groups up and they'll take out to their organizations and sell the catalog. But we do actually have a custom line. People can take that Tervis tumbler. We even have stainless steel options, as well as lanyards and magnets and stickers that if they give us their logo, we can replicate that for them, and they can actually sell their product, their logo, their school, their youth football team as well. We found that to be very popular. In some cases, they'll run with one or the other, and in many cases, they'll actually offer both.
Outstanding, because that's the best of both worlds, right? You've got the ability to capitalize on, and the schools have the ability to capitalize on the current trends, and then, of course, to benefit from the licensing that you guys have the ability to do with the professional and collegiate teams. But then for those that want the their mascot, the Hawks or whatever, to be on a tumbler, or their school name or whatever, you've got the ability to do that too. That's really, really, really cool.
Yeah, it's incredible. We actually didn't start offering that until a couple years ago, and when we brought it to market, we weren't sure what the take rate would be on it, but it's actually becoming a significant part of our business. It's almost 25% of our overall business. And again, it was something a couple years ago. Even though we had it available, we didn't really start marketing it or offering it up. And like I said, now we're either proactive with it, or it's amazing how many people will reach out to us, just like you did on this podcast, to say, hey, can we stick our logo on some of those products? And the answer is yes. Outstanding.
What for custom stuff, give me a feel for minimums. Yeah, just for folks to have an idea of, if they want to do a tumbler, you're going to have to buy X number in order to make that happen.
Well, another great question. With the catalog, our big marketing pitch is there's no risk. There's no upfront cost. You can take a catalog, you could sell 0 or 1 item. It's not like you're going to, face a penalty or anything. When it does come to the custom options, there are some minimums depending on the products that you choose. The Tervis tumblers, there's about a 50 item minimum on those. We offer the 30 ounce stainless, as well as the 16 ounce water bottle stainless. there's a 25 item minimum on those. Some of the other products, they range in numbers. Nothing too crazy, but there are minimums, as you're obviously familiar when it comes to customizing things. Doing one-offs is usually not very economical for them or for us for that matter.
So what is there typically a time of year that is best to work with you guys, or are you guys working with schools and clubs and teams and all that all year round?
Well, I think we follow the very traditional, fundraising. A large percentage of our opportunities exist in the fall. If you think about it, not only are schools selling, which is a big piece of our sales program, but in addition to that, youth football is a fall. Bands are in the fall. All the school groups that are involved in the fall, high school and middle school programs. So most of our sales happen from about probably mid to late July when the youth football kick off. Now schools are starting as early as August, up to that, Labor Day weekend. We find that the second half of the year is our busiest. But, once we get through the holiday season and get into the new year, as you just pointed out, there are still plenty of groups that fundraise. As you know, in the school marketplace, it's called usually a secondary fundraiser for the springtime. Obviously, I mentioned earlier, little leagues are a big part of our the programs that we work with. They tend to run, in the South as early as January, February. Up in the colder areas of the country, they'll start in April 1st and so forth. So there's really never a downtime at all that our staff and everybody is figuring out here. But we tend to be most busiest in the fall.
Very, very cool. So if somebody says, yeah, we want to potential with you guys, what kind of timetable do you find typically works best as far as, how long are they out presenting the product to, family, friends, associates, et cetera? And then once orders are placed, what's typically the turnaround for the fulfillment of those?
Well, if you today right now said, hey, I've got a group of 100 or 1,000, or we've worked with groups of 20,000 in some cases, we could have your catalog shipped out to you tomorrow, get you set up, ready to go. We'll work with you to get you set up. We call it a game plan, to set you up for success, kind of walk you through some of the key things that you need to do to run a successful fundraiser. Really here to be your support mechanism. We recommend to run a campaign in a tight 2 to no more than 3 week window. We tend to find that some folks think that longer equals more money. Our history says that is absolutely not the case. Get in, get out, run it in a tight couple weeks. Once those order forms are collected, we do all the work. We will tally the order or all the orders for the groups. We will send an invoice within 24 hours. Which is 60% of the overall sales. So 40% of those profits are kept right up front. And within about 3 weeks, we will have your product shipped to the organization. And upon receipt, they are broken down to every individual seller. So as far as distribution, it's a pretty turnkey program. The chair people are not spending days trying to identify all the different items and figuring out who gets them. They're all prepackaged for every seller.
Guys, that right there is huge, because I can't count the number of times where I've talked to school volunteers and like Mark said, 10 days separating and organizing and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that these guys do all that on their end and ship it to you, and then all you've got to do is take little Johnny's stuff and give it to little Johnny, and then he goes and does his distribution is huge, and a big game changer.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And really, as we're relatively new in the grand scheme of fundraising. It's been around for multiple decades. We've been around for about 5 or 6 years now. And when we, created the company, the one thing we did do is try to go out, take a look at what some of the other companies were doing, kind of creating the best of breed. We wanted to provide the best customer service in the industry. We wanted to make it easy and turnkey for the folks that were out there looking to raise some money. And while we're still growing, we're excited about about what we're doing. the two principles that we built the company on were quality items. If anybody either worked with our products or has sold our products, everything in there is high quality. I mean, not only is you got the licensed sports, but even the other products that we feature in there. We have a $9 stainless 30-ounce. It's kind of our marketing hook. But candles, etc. We take great pride in the products. We want quality products, and we also are very important that our prices are at or below retail. We do not want to price gouge anybody out there. And those are two things that we built the foundation of the company on, and it seems to be working. People, and I guess the sign for us that it's working is the fact that people are coming back already a second, third, and in some cases a fourth year here with a lot of the groups that we're working with.
So aside from the tumblers, Mark, and I think you've got one of the bottles there too, don't you?
Yes, I do. I mean, as I mentioned, we offer stainless steel, items as well. This is our 16-ounce. You can get this without a sports team logo on it, or in this case, my favorite team in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills. I'm originally from upstate New York, Syracuse. Grew up, I'm one of the few Bills fans out there. But anyways, we feature this item as well. And like I said, we've got everything from coffee to wrapping paper. We've got the stainless options. We've got what else do we have in there? We got a pretty diverse catalog. We have essential oils for those that use them. Candles are very popular in our catalog as well. It's another one of those nice surprises. We added some candles last year, and almost 15% of our sales were candles. So we've taken some time and effort to identify some premium candles out there, and that's probably the biggest theme. Our main theme is let's make this your best fundraising experience yet. But our sub theme is that we want to something for everybody in the catalog, not only from a price range, but really if a kid gets the catalog all the way up to a parent or a grandparent, there's typically something in the catalog that they would buy at a store anyways, and if they can buy it and also support the organization that's looking to raise money at or below the retail cost, it's a win-win for everybody involved. And that's really been the basis of what we've built Superfan on.
Outstanding. What's the best way, Mark, for folks to get in contact with you guys if they want to learn more or potentially partner with you guys for their organization or for their school going into next school year?
Simply hit our website, which is superfanfundraising.com. That's the easiest thing, and it'll also explain a lot of different things and answer a lot of your questions. We can actually either an information page to get you out a catalog or more information to mail out to you immediately, or some folks can, which we see happen all the time, will find the information they need on the website, answer the questions, and actually sign right up on the website. So the website's the easiest option. Of course, another option is the toll-free phone number, 855-602-7990. So one or the other are great ways to get in touch with us, and we're here to help.
Mark, anything else you want to leave the audience with before we sign off?
No, I just appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with you here, like you said, to kick off our Memorial Holiday weekend. And I'm looking forward to some of your listeners to give us a call and see if we can help them raise some money.
Guys, once again, Mr. Mark Geddis, Superfan Fundraising. Check them out at superfanfundraising.com. I love what these guys are doing. I love the quality of what they're doing and the fact that they have the ability to do the licensed stuff, some more generic stuff that follows trends that are out there today, and then, of course, even the custom product for your school or organization if you want to go that route, or any combination thereof. So, Mark, thanks again for joining us in the School Zone. Have a great holiday weekend, and take care.
Thank you.